How's everybody doing today? In our last video, we looked at a try-catch block, which was a real nice simple way in C# to help you avoid errors in your program that would crash your program. What we're going to look at in this video is referred to as a try-parse. A try-parse is just another function that you can use in C# to help you avoid errors in your programs. Now, for each variable type, there is a different try-parse. So if you were checking to see if something was actually an integer, you'd use an int try-parse. If you're checking to see if something was a double, you need a double try-parse. Let me try to explain how it works. Here I've got it set up in an if statement. Basically, I don't want to try to take this information in the text box and put it into my variable if I'm going to cause an error. So what I'm doing here is the try-parse kind of checks. So I've got int try-parse txtAge.text out age. You're basically asking the question, hey, can I take this item, this value in this text box, and put it out to the age variable without causing an error? If you can, this returns a true value, and it will execute the statement in the if statement. If it's unable to take this information in the text box and put it into the age variable, it will render a false value, and your if statement will skip over this line. So it's another way to help you avoid errors. You can do it pretty much with any data type. Here I'm checking a birth date. I've got a text box for birth date. I want to put it out into a date variable, so I can use a datetime.tryparse. The other thing that's kind of neat in the tryparse is you can also use it with a loop. It actually works a little bit better in a loop, because what will happen if you use it in an if statement and the person gives you wrong information the first time around and it catches it, but then the second time they give you wrong information again, your if statement isn't going to catch it unless you've got another if statement under that. With a loop, though, it'll basically keep them in the loop until they give you the right information. The way this is set up is I set up a while loop, and since it has an exclamation point in front of it, it's a reverser. So I'm saying, hey, while you're not able to take this information in the text box and put it out into age, I want you to do this loop. The only thing inside the loop is an input box, and it just keeps asking them to enter an integer for age. So it'll just keep going round and round and round in here, and it will not go any further until they give you an integer value for age. Again, it's a really nice little checking mechanism. Just like up above, when we did the if statement for integer, we can also check a date if a date is actually a true date. So here I've got while not date time try-parse txt birthday.text out that birth date, saying, hey, if I can't take this information in the text box and successfully put it into the variable called dat birth date, then keep me in this loop. The last thing I wanted to talk about in this video is a third level of error checking. A lot of times you go through all these different levels. You want to make sure it's the right type of data. You want to make sure there's some data in there. And after you do all that, maybe you want to make sure the data is valid. For example, if we're looking at age, I'm figuring if it's less than 0, if somebody gives me an age that's less than 0, like -10, or over 100, I'm probably going to question it. So what I can do is a similar loop, set up a similar loop, while int age less than 0, remember these two, or int age greater than 100, keep them in this loop. And again, this loop just keeps asking them for a, please enter integer between 0 and 100. So these are just some additional error checking methods that you can use in addition to try catch block. I've got another video in this series of error checking where you actually get to see the program running, and some of this stuff in the Word document, you get to see it live in a program. Anyhow, hopefully this video was helpful. We'll see you next time.